Now, when I look at Andromeda, I always see two-headed turtle. What do
Mm.
you see?
Oh wow, that's cannot be unseen.
That's
I
right.
Oh man, looking at the
Even looks
new,
like a shell in the middle, doesn't it? Doesn't that like
you
a
just
shell
ruined this
pattern?
map for me now. Okay, so we're
What?
gonna
You
have
you don't like turtles?
no, I do like turtles. I never saw anything before. Anyhow, um, around me is a field of dead mosquitoes, and I'm ready to cast this game. In the bottom right corner of Andromeda is Dessa's friend Scaphism, currently equal with his opponent 1-1.
All right, and we have the tiebreaker match. Top left-hand corner of our screen, we've got the green Zerg, Byleth.
That was the worst sentence I think I've ever said, the last one. Anyway, there's spawning cross, which is very interesting. Let's just talk about this map for a second. There's a main base, there's a half base over here, it's like 5 mineral patches, and there's a good old pocket natural. This base is actually very easy to get 2.5 bases, very easily set up. The big old main base though, really big main base, very susceptible for drop
Well,
and no
not even
display.
just big main. Like, can we talk about this for a second? What is this over here to the right of the natural? We have this section of map that's like blocked off by
Yeah,
debris. What is it?
that's true.
That is that is intense. That is like
That
a very
is the
specific, like guarded area.
Yes, it's the same as it was in Bird War, and I think that's the only reason we have it, because we're not really sure what kind of dynamics it adds. One of the things I've seen is that you can add like a nidus or something in that area and then break the debris and then move in, and it's a little bit harder. Oh no, this is why. Because now you can drop like siege tanks on top of that area, and it's harder for your opponent to defend it.
Ah, cool.
That's the main purpose. But I did remember, and I keep mentioning this when I cast on this map, but this is, I think it was GG Play versus Flash, and GG Play was Zerg and Flash was Terran. This is back in Brood War. We actually built a hatchery on that ledge just to build a Nidus network up there. Or like a Nidus canal is what it's called in Brood War. So he can like
Yeah,
instantly...
I remember that. You had to have creep for Nidus. Oh
Yes.
my god.
And the only way to get creep at a remote location was to make a hatchery. There were no like poop or
Tricks.
yeah. So he actually makes a hatchery just for that Nidus Canal and just to get a huge army right in there. I don't know if it's worth it compared to drops. I guess he could have just dropped his whole army there a lot easier, but it was really cool to watch. Now, if we sometimes don't talk about the game, it's not just because we like to talk about other things once in a while. It's also because I'm getting a tiny bit tired, but I'm gonna stay and cast this, of course, all the way through and through. But it's been a little bit long.
Yeah, 4 hours of casting. Not any tastosis, level of casting, but we're definitely it is difficult to talk for this amount of time. And it doesn't seem like it might be, but so much respect for those casters out there casting,
Yeah.
12 hours straight and stuff like that. I don't know how they do it. It's incredibly impressive.
That is quite
I
crazy.
I do prefer the method of making YouTube videos because I get to take time and do lots of research and make a product that I'm really proud of and excited about. And this is more like performance based, where it's like, all right, you gotta perform, like just like the players. You gotta perform now. If you mess up this sentence, it does not matter. It's messed up. It cannot be fixed.
Yeah. You can edit things on YouTube, and you can
Yeah, editing is great, man. Whew.
Now
Editing
Scaphism
is phenomenal. I love it.
Scaphism is going for some sort of 1-1-1 here. He has a barracks, he has a factory, he has a starport, and adding in the command center, of course, so he can be aggressive with. Anyway, it's a delayed 1-1-1, I suppose. I'm not. Is he gonna go for a vulture drop? It's a very late vulture drop, but dropping anything on this map, even hallucinated drones, can be a good idea. So we got overseas.
Wait a minute, wait. Dropping hallucinated drones? Did that sentence just happen?
That sentence just happened.
Okay,
I
I was just
also
checking.
remember someone in the Starbow mod forum suggesting that overseers shouldn't detect, and there was some good game design reasons for that. But when you look at the unit itself that has 4 eyes sticking out everywhere, that just doesn't make any sense visually. And I just noticed that now, how many crazy eyes this unit has, and it's really seeing a lot.
Alright, so we're going to have this first little bit of aggression from Scaphism. It's scouted, so knows it's coming. We have and the wall coming right in short order. Really like the creep spread from Byleth. I've said that before, but it's really nice use of creep, high ground creep, and things like that. I really like this position too, like the Swarm Queen up there doing her thing.
Oh, that's not tight!
Oh, that's not a wall! Oh, I thought that was a wall, and it absolutely was not one.
So
okay,
did
he's gonna come in
Byleth.
here, and yeah, lots of enraged queens going on. Queen's getting quite
I think
upset.
Byleth is a little bit enraged as well, to be honest. And see, matching his race there very well. Hopefully the drones should actually pull back now and stop fighting. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, quite a few workers being killed off. So far we have 8, 9 workers killed. Really nice run by. Great bit of damage to trade for 4 vultures and a little bit of APM.
Wow, yeah, that was really nice. Did I just do something now? Yeah, I did. I removed their races. I was supposed to bring out the workers killed. That's the hotkey, man. So 9 workers killed for Scaphism there. So that's really good. We're gonna have a Banshee, we're gonna have a Viking, we're gonna have the Viking speed again. And Scaphism said, you know what, that worked really well last game, let's do that again. And he's probably done it a couple games before that as well. Oh, the Banshee now harassing. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Osiris, the great and the powerful. He was no, he wasn't. He is a Starbow player, but he hasn't been playing much lately. And he would like open Reapers into Vultures, into Banshees, like every harassment unit in the book that Terran has, he would make your life miserable. And it was so hard to play versus if you didn't know what was going on. And this is exactly the same thing that's happening now.
16 workers killed to 1. The worker counts are 21 to 33 in favor of the Terran right now. Really nice position for our Terran player. Although our Terran doesn't have the 3rd base, so the income is not too far behind for the Zerg, but it is definitely behind.
Indeed it is, and we're gonna have a little bit of an air fleet for Scaphism now, or maybe an air group, I guess you could say. That Viking's gonna start hunting Overlords with its very odd missiles. Is that sound really so off?
I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
4 Hydralisks over here. He's gonna use the cloak tactically here to get some shots in when he can. But the Overseer comes in. There's also a Spore Crawler in that area. Goes into the red supply from the Viking, dealing damage to the Overlord. And yep. Oh wow, we have triple upgrades. It says, alright, well it's not a wall. I might as well get triple upgrades from the evolution chambers. Not something that I've seen many times before.
Well, he had to make them, so might as well. They were even like a big waste since they were not tight even, so. And the 3rd base, very nicely placed from Scaphism there. He doesn't want to put it down on the low ground. He's a little bit scared of those 2 Zerglings. I guess he's scared of more than 2 Zerglings, but yeah. Those 2 Zerglings, I guess, are more there to spot any pushing out. And again, the Banshee's coming in, darting in, doing some damage, getting cloaked, which is kind of unnecessary with the amount of detection that Byleth has right now.
Oh! He's gonna make it out. 3 hit point Banshee.
Banshee just
lives.
Never dies, ever. Like, I've never seen a game where a Banshee actually gets killed while it's harassing. It usually dies later on, but...
Yeah, just a great bit of harass, and the Zerg has been stuck in his base this whole time, just trying to defend, doing the best that he can to deal with this whole scenario. And in the meantime, Terran's built up a nice force, science vessel bio, and will be pushing out.
And Byleth now sees that this is in fact bio, and that's very important because this could have been mech. He hasn't really been seeing much except for a lot of harassment units. So he is making those lurkers, which is so important to have now. He's not even going to try and make Mutalisks. And this is why he makes these Vikings. It's a little bit preemptive. Because the one thing to really counter a meching play, well, it's not really meching though. But if he was going for mech, or the early game where he's not going for a lot of bio, the way to really counter that hard is a lot of Mutalisks, so he kind of already makes the Vikings to preemptively counter that. There's a big skeleton
here. The Banshees are back in, dealing more damage, doing their thing.
There's a big skeleton inside the evolution chamber that pops out once it dies. I never even seen that before. Maybe I'm just a noob.
Well, if you don't have it on the highest graphics, that doesn't happen, so...
It's just medium, but I just saw it now.
I spoke higher graphics than low. I just play low pretty much all the time, or hybrid.
Yeah, when I play, I usually it's just when I'm casting. So here we go. Lurkers are gonna Burrow one by one, trying to chase his army back as long as possible. Scaphism with some really good micro there, and
manages to hold on to most of his forces.
Yeah.
You know, most of keep him alive. But we have a pretty big army from Byleth here, and he's going to be moving out. He can start to make his push and regain, or rather gain control of this map.
Indeed. In the meantime, though, there's the science vessels coming out from Scaphism, and they are going to be the good answer here to these lurkers. And there's no hive tech yet. I don't know. He hasn't even started a Viper's Nest. More Banshees doing damage, and these are the same ones that has been repaired, and they have tons of... Well, one of them has a lot of kills. The other one is kind of inferior. Only has 1 kill. Bad Banshee. So this is a little bit of a interesting position. Byleth wants to move out.
Gets a nice concave. He's going to be moving in. Those Hydras getting in range of those science vessels, dealing a little bit of damage, but he's very much on the run and in trouble, not doing too much damage to the Zerg. Byleth is chasing him down, burrowing where he can. He tries to take an engagement here. If he does take a little bit of the lurker fire, the Hydra is helping out a lot. This does not look like a good position for Scaphism to take. He's going to run away, but lose a lot in the process.
And it was very important for Scaphism to actually take this fight as far out in the map as he did, because if you allow your Zerg opponent to just come in and park right here without any opposition, that's incredibly dangerous and puts you in a very rough position. He did save that science vessel, which was very important. Every science vessel now is going to be super important, and he needs to irradiate all those lurkers. As soon as the lurkers are done, medics and marines can clean up Zerglings and Hydras very easy as long as he has a sufficient number. Ooh, almost loses another science vessel.
I think he's going to lose it, actually. I don't think he's paying attention to it. Yeah, he's not paying attention to it. It's going to go down.
Oh, it's so sad. In the meantime, Banshees, man, do damage.
They've just been hanging out there for a while, like, we're Banshees, so...
Just morphed the lurker in the last second. Oh, I was like, no, that was a bad idea. Go back again.
Very expensive heal.
It was. They could have actually killed at least one of them if you hadn't done that. So it's gonna calm down a little bit. Scaphism has layers of bunkers to protect his bases. So I think Byleth can just put up a container right now. He can't really push in here until he has Dark Swarm, and he's getting the hive as we speak, though. This is a very classic Zerg versus Terran map. This is usually if it gets past a certain point, you're definitely gonna see Defilers and Dark Swarm on this map and contain in positions like this. This is a very classical map in that sense.
Absolutely. I think a bit of the issue, though, on this map, at least, is that he's sort of pinned back to the economy that he's on right now. He's got a good defensive position with his choke. But any sort of third he tries to take, we have a third over here, really long distance to get to this third on the right side, and then what other option, can he go all the way? Is this like an island expansion in the middle? He doesn't have a lot of options to go out to a full gas third base.
Back science vessels. This is the reason, one of the main reasons actually you want to add some Hydras to your composition in Starbow, is basically to try and pick off science vessels, because doing it with Scourges can be a painful experience most of the times, because it's a very a hit or miss thing. Either you connect or you don't. While with Hydras you're going to get at least some shots off on the science vessels usually, and more slowly whittle them down. And he's also slowly inching forward. This feels like mech play versus we're seeing from Zerg now, but a lot of Irradiate going up. That's such a big army from Byleth. It's going to be hard to hold this from Scaphism.
Does the Irradiate not deal splash damage if the unit is burrowed?
No, that's true.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just trying to figure it out. Alright, he's
going
in for the big
go
attack
for
here.
it. I don't know if I...
Really aggressive. He's going to try to break through. The bunkers go down in seconds. He's going down to one bunker left, and he's... Oh, man, this is absolutely a massacre. He's in big trouble here. He has no place to retreat to. He needs this bunker. It falls. He needs all his units. They're dead. This is pretty much the end of this natural expansion, potentially the end of the game. He's got a nice rally in here. He's got a little bit of force retainment. He's got the position on the ramp. He might be able to use that to survive, but as it is, we got 4 base onto pretty much 1 left. This is a really tough position on Scaphism. Great move by Byleth, making use of his force at the optimal time.
It did turn out to be a good move. I felt it was a little bit of a risky move. Though. He could have very easily lost all of his units there. He did have a very good force though, but I felt it was a little bit unnecessary. He didn't really need to do that at the time, but it turned out to work really well for him. Man, so many mosquitoes. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop talking about it every time I kill one.
But in the meantime, we have the dropship coming out. Try to do a little bit of counter pressure. It is seen, and he's about one step behind. He's gonna come in, deal a little bit of damage. Dropship's only got 15 hit points left. He can't do all that much. Just one dropship full of Marine Medic.
Yeah, this is pretty much. It's a good effort from Scaphism to do something, but and I think the dropship was already on its way before that push happened. But they're surprisingly equal in supply though, although Byleth has an incredibly much better economy than his opponent because he has 41 workers versus 15. So actually the army supply of Scaphism is bigger than his opponent, but I don't think it really matters that much at this point. Big drop.
Well, it is one advantage that he has, and that's good for him. He's going to have to use what little advantages he does have if he wants to be able to secure this base with gas in it.
One thing that is very important is that it has 4 science vessels, and that's a good number of science vessels. If you can churn out a couple of more science vessels, that's going to be super important. He's going to try with another drop. He has to be very careful with dropping now. His army, like you said, advantage is his only advantage, and losing drop ships with units is going to remove that advantage from him. He's going to move out with the science vessels. Has to be careful about these hydralisks. Doesn't want to go too close to them. But he wants to. Oh, he wants to radiate those defilers so bad. Those will be the key units to radiate right now. But man, straight Bio versus Hydra is not good for Hydra, but with Darkstorm it helps. But he can just pull back a little bit, and the Darkstorm doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, he lost both of his defilers there. I think he's down to 0 defilers. That is correct. He's down to 0 defilers. Not the best move. No. This army is pretty strong.
But in the meantime, we're gonna have some Zerglings hopping on top of the production of Scaphism, and that is going to be so difficult for Scaphism to deal with, even though these are not that many Zerglings. Them just staying on top of the production is going to be halt, of course, the production of Scaphism. Man, my casting is so good right now.
He's got to run all the way across the map with his army way out of position here, killing all of the workers pretty much that are left. I mean, how many is he's got 12 SCVs, 11 SCVs to 49 drones. It is not an exaggeration to say that he needs to make something happen right now.
He's turning around with the army, which is very important. He's going to move in with the science vessels again. He's going to lose a couple, and this is... No. Wow. No, okay, there we go. We lost a couple. Just a little bit ahead of my time. He's evading the overseer for some reason.
Making a drop at the same time. He's getting something done. He's getting the damage happening, but it's 10 SCVs. How much are you going to make with that? He's at 75 supply, and he doesn't really have a way to get that supply very much higher.
This is the last chance Scaphism has to win, to get into the grand final of this tournament. He has to win this game to try and beat Dirtybag, but it seems like Byleth is going to have to face Dirtybag once again, unless Scaphism can pull off some sort of miracle. Again,
Absolutely,
he's down to
miracle
like
would
11.
be totally the correct word for this kind of situation. But he's fighting it out. A lot of tenacity, not giving up, just pushing in, and you gotta have respect for that,
Definitely. He's gonna keep trying, and Scaphism isn't the guy that GG fast. Remember his games versus who was that versus Protoss player? Anyhow, he was staying in as long as possible. I think it was Bobble somewhere. No, Wonkman.
Yeah,
I don't
and he's staying in, and he's fighting it out, and you have to hand it to him for that. Taking the sneaky expansion is Byleth. I mean, what else is he gonna do? I mean, maybe that's a normal expansion you take at this point. Kind of difficult after you get these first bases up here. What other base are you gonna take? He's just pushing out his lead as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, there's really
a couple
no
of close banshees trying to help out. Maximum micro happening here, and
is that why he irradiated the overseer to utilize the banshees, which are almost dead? Man, the red army of Scaphism is coming here too. Oh, he's gonna try and heal it up. Good. So yeah, Byleth with the stream of units, he has so much money. That's crazy. Not a lot of gas, but yeah, Scaphism just leaves the game. GG. Byleth is gonna go back to face Dirtybag.